you are already on social media right now? Could you raise your hands, please? Great. How many of you are spending time on social media every day? Okay. And every week? Okay, so a week or day, right? How much time do you spend on average? Are you spending 30 minutes and limiting yourself to 30 minutes a day? Ooh, an hour a day? Uh-oh, 2 hours a day? Wow, okay. That could be a real challenge for a lot of people because social media is really fun. It's very exciting, it's very addictive, and it can be really challenging because you've got a lot of other work you need to do. You've got a lot of clients who are depending upon you. So there's a balance for you of social media. And what we're going to talk about today is how you can accomplish social media in just 30 minutes a day. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. There's a lot of information here that I want to share with you, and I want to make sure that I leave some time to answer your questions. So we're going to cover a lot of things. I'm going to talk briefly about some of your business goals that you might be focused on right now. We're going to cover something called the collaboration economy and what that's doing to your business, how you can leverage that. We're going to talk about the role of social media, a communication strategy that you can use to leverage social media, and then also how do you manage your social media activity? What about the time that you use to manage your social media activity? We'll talk about that too. And then I'm going to share a fast business growth strategy with you and what you can do immediately to move your business forward. So let's get started. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about me. I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I usually don't admit to that. I am really passionate about helping small business. I love marketing. I'm a total marketing geek. Everything is marketing. You didn't know that. The breathing is actually marketing, and I can prove it to you too. Marketing is just like breathing. You do it all the time, and you don't even know that you're doing it. So when you realize just how fundamental it is, suddenly it becomes easy, effortless, and super fun. And that's what marketing really needs to be for you and your business, so you can spend a lot of time doing what you love to do, and marketing is just automatic. You don't have to think about it. So some of the business goals that you're probably dealing with right now, you need to increase awareness among your target audience. You probably also need to make sure that you're improving the positioning of your brand. It's not enough just to have people know who you are. They need to know how you fit in what they need. You also want to be generating a list of very highly qualified prospects. You don't want to waste a lot of time with people who truly can't take advantage of your products and services. Your time is really better used elsewhere. You also need to identify good affiliates and joint venture partners. Are there other things that you are looking to do in your business right now that I haven't mentioned that you want to make sure get addressed in this conversation? Okay, well, we're going to talk about how social media can help you dealing with all of these different business issues. And let's start by looking at the collaboration economy. There are 3 different components to the collaboration economy. The first is connect, the second is contribute, and the third is collaborate. Now, when I talk about these kinds of things, I like to use questions, because questions are a really fundamental part of how your brain actually works. You probably didn't realize this, but every single thing in your life that you do, that you think about, is based on a question. The alarm goes off in the morning and you think, can I hit the sleep alarm one more time, or do I really have to get up? It's a question. You're ready to go out to lunch. What am I in the mood for today? It's a question. Do I have enough gas to get to the office, or do I need to make a pit stop first? Everything's a question. So the way your brain works, there's one component that is conscious and 5 components that are non-conscious. Your conscious mind is pretty freaking brilliant. It can process about 160 to 1,000 bits of information a second. That's pretty fast. I mean, gotta take my hat off to it. But your non-conscious can process between 2 and 4 million bits of information per second. It's incredibly powerful, incredibly strong, and we're continuing to learn how the non-conscious actually operates. But think of it this way. Imagine that your conscious mind comes up with a question. It's a stick that you toss up the wall to your non-conscious, which is a little puppy. And the puppy loves playing with that stick. It can't wait to get a hold of another stick and go find you an answer. So when you're having a lousy day and you're asking a really bad question, like, why does this stuff always happen to me? Well, that puppy goes, hey, bad Asking powerful questions gets you powerful answers. So I'm going to share some questions with you today that will help your subconscious start thinking a little bit differently. Let's take a look at the first stage of the collaboration economy, which is connect. And in the connection phase, it's really all about listening and introducing yourself. The first thing to think about is who do you need to monitor? Who is really active in your industry and doing interesting things? What are some of the keywords that you should be paying attention to? The next question, where does innovation happen for you? Who's doing the big discoveries? Who's really on top of the game and setting the trends in your industry? You should be paying attention to them. Where do your prospects and clients go? Where do they go to hang out? It's probably eWomen Network. I've been in eWomen Network for, 12 or 13 years. I'm the oldest eWomen Network member in the Sacramento region. I love this group. It's one of the most powerful ways to make great connections and really quickly grow your business fastly. It's a new word I've invented. Who would you love to support? Who do you just love working with? Who's your favorite client? They're just awesome. They're interesting. They're fun. You love hanging out with these people. And you would just give your world to help them be successful. Who do you love to support? And what industry are you in? What is going on in your industry? There's a couple of great resources out there that I invite you to try when you're working on social media. One is called Social Who Is, and the other is called Twitter Grader. Now, what's so cool about both of these tools is it allows you to identify who is most active based on certain keywords. And if your profile is not on either one of these places, make it easy for people to find you. It's Twitter, it's on the page, so if you go to the first page about connect, contribute, and collaborate, it's at the bottom. I cheated, I gave you a lot of information already. Sorry. And I'm sorry, but we only have about 20-25 minutes today, and there's a lot of information here, and I apologize, I'll get through as much as I possibly can and share with you as much as I can. I'm sure you will have additional questions. I'm going to be doing a seminar in September in Sacramento, which is where I'm from, and I definitely invite you to join me there where we'll learn even more information along these same lines and how you can identify super highly qualified prospects and really create a valuable relationship with them. Well, once you've connected with people, then you need to contribute to them. And that doesn't just mean meeting with them for coffee once. It doesn't mean just sending them one email. It means creating a campaign. And I really recommend that you come up with 10 different value messages that you can add to these prospects that you're talking to. Because the old way of doing business has really dramatically changed. People are so busy, they've got so much information that they need to sort through. In fact, current studies estimate that we're bombarded with about 30,000 different marketing messages every day. Every day. So what we do is we put up screens, filters, to try to sort through that information to make sure that we only pay attention to the things that are most relevant to us. So what you can do is provide highly relevant information to these prospects and let them self-select. They're looking for you. They've got a problem. They're looking for somebody who gets them, who can relate to them, who understands their problem, who speaks about it in a way that they get. So the questions to think about here with the campaign, what are their biggest problems that they're wrestling with? What kinds of challenges and frustrations are they dealing with right now? The better you can understand their frustrations and the better you can put their frustrations in their own language, the more they feel heard. What information can you share that would be really relevant to them and useful? What are some of the best practices that you've identified? Because you've been at this for a while and you know your stuff. And it's not just the information, it's also how do you put it in play most effectively, most efficiently so you don't waste a lot of time. It's like I'm trying to share some tactics with you here and some tools that will save you a lot of time with your social media. So who do they need to know? One of the biggest challenges for a lot of people is you get busy doing your thing and you get locked in your office. Maybe you're on the phone with a few people, but hey, if you don't get out there, if you don't network, if you don't come to eWomen, you don't meet awesome people. And everything happens through the relationships you create. So great information that you can share with other people isn't just stuff, it's also people that they need to know. So who do they need to know to move their business forward? And what kinds of questions should they be asking? Again, smart questions give you really good answers. So give them some great questions that they should use. It will really make a difference in creating a powerful relationship. Now the third phase of the collaboration economy is collaborate. Surprise, we finally got there. And this is all about creating leverage. So think of it this way. What could you give them that they could distribute to their clients that would really be valuable and make them look like a hero? I've got an example for you. I am creating some free training videos on marketing, and anybody who would like to share that information with other people, I'd love to have you share it. Because I truly want to support small businesses in growing quickly. We need you to be incredibly successful. You actually create 99.2% of all new jobs, and small business generates 70% of the taxable revenue. That's both for California and nationwide. You matter, and you need to grow. So it's not just you, it's also all the other small businesses you know, they need to grow too. What kind of information do their clients need? We talked earlier about putting together a campaign that would really help them and give them great ideas, but they've got clients too. They've got people they need to support. Who do they know, and what do their clients need most that you could provide an answer to, again, to help them look like a hero to their clients? How can you easily support their goals? Who can you affiliate with? And what kind of an ongoing process will you use? You know, there's so many different ways that you can create leverage. There's a wonderful book out there called The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. And they have two different laws. There are several, I think 5 laws in there, but 2 that I want to share with you today. The law of value states that your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten an awesome testimonial or a fabulous endorsement, and it's worth way more than money. It's worth so much. Getting that validation, getting that perspective, getting that insight from somebody, there are a lot of ways to add value to people that have no monetary association whatsoever, but they're worth their weight in gold. Now, the law of compensation states that your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. Well, wonderfully, we now have social media that makes it super easy for you to serve a lot more people, and it's pretty turnkey. So let's jump into that right away. Hopefully I'm not taking too much time. But I needed to set up the background so that you understand how it works, okay? So there's several different audiences that you're serving, and if you don't think about it this way, you need to start thinking this way because it'll really exponentially grow your business. Sure, you've got your clients, and you also have your vendors. All the different people that help your business grow and thrive are also critical connections that you need to be working closely with because they may know other companies that could also use your services. There's the different affiliates that you have. And there's also the media. Remember, they're looking for news stories all the time. And you may not know it, but you've got some great news to share, some great information to share. So you need to cultivate those relationships too. The communication strategy when it comes to social media is pretty straightforward. You need to make sure that you're taking time to listen, and I'm going to share some tools with you that make it much easier to listen. You need to share what you're thinking and how you're thinking about things. You need to comment, and this is where you establish relationships. It's not about selling. It's not about talking all about your stuff. It's about truly trying to add value and help them solve their problem. That's what creates a level of trust. And then when you are talking about what you're doing, they're much more receptive to exploring it because there's that level of trust that's been established. You also need to add value in your comments. And the most valuable thing you own that you could ever provide is your perspective. It's how you think. It's how you process. It's how you evaluate things. Because that's where we really need some insight. We really need that help. Because we're bombarded with all this information, but how we process the information and really put it to use is so valuable. So that's something critical that you provide. And make sure that you're providing your personality too. You know, the beautiful thing is you're a unique individual. You've got a sense of humor. You're a little quirky. And that's what people love about you. Believe it or not, that's what people are going to love about you. That's what they're going to remember about you. And I love the pink hair. Sorry. Love it. Be responsive. Make sure that you're responding to people when they get in touch with you on social media. Do try to get back as quickly as you can, and certainly within a 24-hour period. Okay, there's 3 different things that you're going to do to manage your social media. The first one is gathering information. And when it comes to gathering information, go to the next page. You want to take a look at what it is your clients really want. You want to identify what do they really want. You want to use the language that they use. And again, I can't emphasize enough how important that is. But when you actually repeat back, word for word, the way they described their problem, suddenly they go, oh, somebody understands my problem! Thank heaven! So it really does make a difference. You may mean the same thing, but you're using different words, so they hear something different. Use their words. You'll communicate much more readily. You also want to monitor the trends that are going on and identify valuable resources and tools that they could use. It's also really critical to stay on top of hot news that your clients can use. And one of the best tools for this is called Google Reader, and it's totally free. If you're not using it now, I highly recommend that you use it because you can subscribe to a whole bunch of different RSS feeds and flick through all the headlines really quickly, identify the stories that look interesting to you, and then post information about those stories with your insight, your perspective, your comment on what this actually means for their business, and boom, you've added value. Sweet. Love it when that happens. Okay, phase 2, update your blog once you've got some information. So, some of the stuff that you're going to put on your blog, hot news and information. You want to make sure that you go beyond just the information and make sure that you're telling them what the information means for them. What's the outcome? What's the result for them? You want to provide those handy tools and resources and the questions they should consider. Remember how powerful questions are. Asking good questions really separates you from the pack. You want to provide video and pictures and polls so that it's interactive and they get an opportunity to feel you. They feel your presence, they get to know your personality, and they see if there's a good fit for them or not. You also want to make sure that you're using good keywords and tags. And I don't know who invented the name of this product, they just wanted to have lots of people say their name. Prophylactic! I think it's Prophylactic, but the name of the product is Prophylactic, shame on them. It's a social media aggregator and live streaming service. It pulls together just about everything that you and your friends are creating online and puts it into one of those scrolling bars. And it's this really cool tool that actually is linked to about 190 different social media sites right now. So it will automatically update this scrolling bar and update your profiles on 190 different sites. You can be everywhere simultaneously. You can also put it on your blog. So it's another way to have ongoing content available. And again, it's content from you and from your friends, which is kind of cool. Now, I love Utility Poster. This is not free, but it's Utility Poster version 3.0. And when you go to buy it, it's $69. But then if you go to close the window, a little last-minute screen comes up and goes, no, wait, it's on sale now for $49. So save 20 bucks, close the screen. But what is really cool about this tool, Utility Poster, is it allows you to find keyword-specific blog posts, YouTube videos, and Twitter status updates and Flickr photos. It allows you to drag and drop content right onto your blog so that you can quickly add your comments and have your blog done in a snap. Makes it super easy. So trust me, for 49 bucks, it's so worth it. The other tools that I've shared with you are free, but this one's not. Okay, the last part of this is you want to make sure that you're posting to your social media. And the tool that I highly recommend for this is called Hootsuite. Hootsuite. It's an excellent tool. It makes it super easy for you to schedule your social media posts to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and WordPress, all from a centralized dashboard. You can connect with different contacts and save them in groups, which is really handy so that you can create more customized messages. When your messages are customized to that audience, it adds a lot more value. And that's your whole focus, is to make sure that you're adding value and being really relevant to these people. You can also have multiple people supporting this account. So if you have a virtual assistant who helps you with this, you can have multiple people using Hootsuite. But the key to super successful social media posts, it's got to be brief, it's got to provide value, and there are two components to value. Value is a combination of entertainment and information. A lot of the entertainment comes from your personality, from you just being you. You just being the wonderful you are. That's what will get people to gravitate towards you, and they relate to you or they don't. And if they don't, great, bye-bye. What you want are the people who get you, who value you, who understand you, and who want more. So it really helps you qualify your audience, qualify your prospects when you leverage some of these tools. Successful social media posts are brief, they provide value, which is a combination of entertainment and information, and they are transparent, which means you're very open about what it is you're doing. You're trying to add value. Is everybody going to find it valuable? No. But you're doing what you can, and that's great. Okay, so the order that you want to do these things in. First of all, it starts with you. You want to make sure that you're creating a website, and if you don't have one, you definitely need one. But it's very easy to create a website using WordPress and have a WordPress blog site. Very useful. Then open up your profiles on the different social media sites. That's step 2. The third thing, set up your Google Reader account with all the keywords that you want to monitor, the names of companies, products, services, individuals, as well as different newsletters and podcasts that you want to monitor. Put all that in Google Reader. Then you continue to gather that information. Post it to your blog along with your interpretation of what it is and how it works. And then post that to your social media sites so that you're adding value there. And then the feedback part is all about the connecting, contributing, and collaborating. Because it's really about making a difference for other people, making sure that they're getting value. So the way I like to allocate time, and I know I'm just racing through this, and I apologize, but you can see there's a lot here, and I wanted to get to all of it. I like to spend about 15 minutes gathering the information every day, take a quick look through my Google Reader, identify stuff that I think is really going to be interesting and valuable, and as I'm doing research through the day, if I come across something else that's cool, I'll put that into Hootsuite, and I'll make sure that that is one of the posts that I put out later. Then I update my blog at least weekly, and that generally takes me about 30 minutes because I want to make sure that I'm including a video or a picture, and I want to make sure I've got good tags in there. I may need link backs, and it just takes a little bit of time, but that 30 minutes is really worth it. Then with social media, I try to post at least twice a day, more if I can, more if I can come up with some additional things that I want to say. But one of the things that I want to make sure you realize is a lot of people get frustrated with social media because they think they've got to be super social. Right? Yeah. It's like, I don't care what you had for lunch. Right. I'm trying to solve a problem here. Well, if you have a business focus, you get business results. Garbage in, garbage out, right? So if your emphasis in social media posts is all about business and what you do and how you create value, and you're deliberately trying to create value for other people, you're answering their questions, you're providing valuable insight, people see that and they appreciate it and they start to seek you out and they request your advice. You can easily switch your social media into a business focus that will get you business results. Doesn't mean you aren't nice and friendly and approachable. It just means the topics that you cover are relevant to your business and your industry. The key secret to marketing, not only is it something that you do automatically every day, you need to understand the real reasons why people buy from you. What motivates them? What are their hidden motivations and why they want your products and services anyway? It's amazing. When you get that clarity, it's incredible what happens to your business because all of a sudden it becomes really obvious where you need to be on a regular basis in order to create those relationships. And it also becomes really obvious what you need to say to them so that they can hear you and value what you're offering. So the next 3 steps for you, very simple. Connect with me. I provided some information on where you can find me on social media. And please contribute your feedback. I included a speaker form as the very last page. I'd appreciate it if you'd fill that out, tear it off, and give it back because I'm all about trying to add value and help small businesses thrive and grow. I hope this was useful to you. But if there are any other questions that you have, feel free to put the questions there. I'll get back to you and give you specific answers if you've got a unique situation on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. And then I'd love to collaborate with you if you, okay. So Hootsuite basically is a software tool. It makes it super easy for you to do your social media posts because you can pre-schedule them. So if you come across some information that you think is really interesting and you want to have a post go out on social media once an hour, and you've looked at your Google Reader and you've identified several different stories that were kind of interesting, you can pre-write those posts and schedule them to go out through Hootsuite. It's also got some tools that help you identify different people that might be a good connection for you, where they might be really interested in what you have to say, or you could learn a lot from them. And so it makes it easy for you to create different groups. Did that answer your question? Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
I probably hit my, this is a Facebook question.
Okay.
And if it's too low level, just let me know. I'll probably hit my 5,000 limit on my personal, and I already am building my like page, so that's not my question. My question is, with the 5,000 that I have, I really want to improve the quality of my ideal client with a match. And everybody in their planet, once you hit 800, wants to be your friend. And so I'm trying to figure out, you know, do you just go ahead and say yes, but then also very proactively go after your industry leaders and your affiliate people? How
That's
do
a
you
really good
balance
question.
that out?
I definitely deliberately go after my affiliates and the key people that I want to watch and be in touch with, because they're a great resource of new information. You know, one of the things in the collaboration economy, we've shifted from competition into much more collaboration. Even our competition is collaborative. Because now, you know, if you're writing a book and you go to the bookstore, you go to Amazon.com, and there's nobody writing a book on that topic, there isn't a single one even like your topic, don't write it. There are no buyers. Nobody wants it. Don't go there. If there's competition, great. They are always eager for a new voice. Think about it this way. If you're a murder mystery enthusiast, do you only read one author? Heck no. You buy every single doggone murder mystery you can get your hands on. And it's the same with anybody in your industry. Somebody who's got a challenge like the one that you solve, they're already buying stuff from your competitors. So your competitors can actually be incredibly great allies and resources for awesome leads for you. Big difference. So in terms of qualifying your leads more, it really helps if you identify some of those competitors, affiliates, and really find ways to JV with them to get your high quality leads. And then it's a matter of going through and friending and unfriending people. I hate to say it, but yeah, you have to manage your list, especially if you're reaching your limit. It's a very good question, though.
I think a lot of people have confusion with social networking. I think the word is, if it was accurate, now it's a misnomer. It's a new business tool, it seems. That's why I'm here, to understand it. Because I don't have Facebook, I barely do LinkedIn, I don't understand MySpace, any of that stuff. I'm a good guy who doesn't have computers. That's today's world. How do I verify effectiveness of this, that I'm actually getting business, or it's getting to the right people? How do I get it out to the right people, or know that it's actually being used as a tool?
So there's a lot of different things that you can do, and basically what you're looking for is response. Because you're reaching out to connect with people, and there are certain metrics that you need to have, because it is kind of a numbers game in some respect. You need to reach enough of the right people to provide value to them to where they go to the next step and they want to increase the relationship with you, right? So there are things that you can do, like you can record webinars or record a teleseminar that you've done, and you can distribute that on LinkedIn or Facebook. You can do videos and put those up on YouTube. And it's a way for you to add value to your audience and invite them to participate in the conversation. Now, another key strategy for you to do is identify different people who already have blogs, who already have stuff out there where your audience is hanging out, and go comment on their stuff. People want comments. People want interaction. That's the whole goal here, is to get the conversation started. And basically what social media does is it amplifies your voice. It makes a lot of different people able to reach you super easy. Now, if you have a geographically specific business where you're only working with people in a certain geographic area, there are certain tools that you can leverage for that. One of the tools is Yelp.com, YELP.com. And it basically is where your customers can provide reviews about your business and comment on your business. And so when somebody's in your area and they're looking for services like yours, they're able to see the reviews and they're able to go for your business. Foursquare is another one. And Foursquare is where you can provide special incentives and offers. You might even put a white paper up, limited time offer for the next 24 hours. We normally charge this much for it. There's a lot of different things that you can do in social media that's local, that's specific for your business. Every single business out there really needs to be doing social media because it amplifies your voice and it allows you to be really, really relevant to people who desperately need your help. It's not about selling anymore, it's about providing value.